Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Blazor blog series. I'm Patrick and I will show you how to create a custom layout today for your Blazor WebAssembly application. And actually it's quite easy. You already see the main layout file here, and we will add another one and choose this one then. And if you would only do that, this tutorial would be over in maybe just a minute. So we will also make use of Bootstrap to change the design of the blog, but I have to warn you, I'm not a designer, not at all, so this maybe won't be that pleasing to the eye, but I hope you will learn something. Before we start, one thing: if you want to dive deep into Blazor WebAssembly, maybe you want to have a look at the Blazor WebAssembly Full Stack Bootcamp. This is an online course I created where you build a classic online browser game where users can register. We are using JSON Web Tokens for authentication, and then users can create fighters like knights, archers and mages, and then let these fighters fight against other users, and then these users can win and climb the leaderboard and become the best warrior of them all. Maybe you want to have a look. There's also a 2-hour preview available here on YouTube. Just check out the info card or click the link in the video description. And thank you very much to all my supporters. Yes, 2 of them. You really mean a lot to me. Thank you very much for supporting me. And if you want to support me as well, maybe you want to buy me a coffee, then check out the link in the video description as well. Thank you very much for that. And then you will see your name here in the next episode. And apart from that, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Okay, enough with the commercials. Now let's start with another layout. So you see the main layout here, and the most important thing here, which actually makes this Razor component a layout, is that this file inherits the layout component base class here. And this layout component base turns the component into a layout because this class defines a body property for the rendered content inside the layout. And to specify the location of the rendered content, we use the Razor syntax add body. Simple as that. And when you get a file or a Razor component like that, then you have to use it, of course, and you do that, for instance, in the app Razor file. Here you can see for the standard pages, when the route view finds, or the router finds a route, then it uses the main layout in this case for the default layout. And in the case that a route has not been found, then you can also define another layout if you want. But in this case here we are also using the main layout. But let's create another one. So we go just to the Solution Explorer, and in the shared folder we create a new Razor component. And we call this block layout maybe. There it is. And again, the most important thing here is we add inherits layout component base. And now this thing is a layout we can use. This new layout will be quite simple. We will add a div with a class called container. Remember, Bootstrap is available here, so most of the classes are already there, provided by Bootstrap, and that's why we can use them. And now the next thing I want to add is the nav menu, and maybe I should tell you what I want to create, what kind of design I want to create. In essence, it's just one column. You see the navigation bar on top, and then after that you see the content. Pretty simple, I know. But this works, I guess, as well, or in particular on mobile devices. And so we got the nav menu, and then the next thing already is the content. And then I add the class called px4. This stands for padding on the x-axis, and that's not 4 pixels. It's just some kind of size. I think it's 24 pixels in this case. You could also define px 0 and 1, 2, 3, and I think 4 is the max value here. And then we add the body, and then in the body there will be our content. This is where the rendered content will be. So this is the blog layout. And don't forget, we are still using the main layout, but I would say we still start the application. So we open the package manager console. I think we have to change the directory. Yes, so cd Blazor blog, cd server. And now this should work. So .NET watch run. And in a minute or in a couple of seconds, we should see the old layout, and then we will try to switch the layouts, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, it's here on my other screen. So this is the old layout. We see all the blog posts, beautiful. And now we go back to Visual Studio, and in the app Razor, we choose the blog layout here. And also for the not found, I mean, why not? So blog layout. And you see something is happening here, this cute little icon. And the layout changed. As I said, I'm not a designer, but we are not done, of course. So what has changed? We don't see the sidebar, and we also don't see a navigation bar, so we have to change the nav menu, that's for sure. But we already see our blog posts here. We will also change the designs of them, because actually if you want to just use a custom layout, you're done. You can stop the video, you know everything you need to know, but let's maybe also change the design a little bit. So here's the blog layout. We're done with this file. Now we want to change the navigation menu. Where is it? Nav menu. There it is. And I have to admit, I have another document open on my other screen, because otherwise I do not have this in my head. Not everything. So the first thing I want to change is we switch this. We don't want to use a div. We are using the nav tag like that, and then of course close this div as well. This should actually be, oh okay, it changed the tag here. Okay, now it should work. Jesus Christ, nav, all this auto renaming. So now it's correct. So we get the nav tag here for the navigation. And now we also want to change the classes a little bit. So I remove this thing here. We are using a navbar, but then I want to use navbar expand small. And then I want a light, not a dark navigation bar, and also the background should be a light color, which is actually just a light gray. But anyways, this works. Okay, we can add a space here, then this looks a little bit better. Then this navbar toggler works already, so this is a nice toggle button. But then the div here, we remove the onClick. We don't need this actually, but we add another class, navbar collapse. And then for the unordered list, we change the classes a little bit. We use navbar nav and also mr auto. This is similar to the padding, but actually that's the margin. And this says margin right is set to auto. And then for the list items, we just use nav item. We can leave the pixel, the padding for the x-axis, or we just remove them. And this should be it. So we actually just changed some classes, removed the onClick in the div here, and also the tag is important. So let's save this. and then have a look if this already works. Kinda. There it was, I think. Yeah, so we've got the navigation bar with the home and the create button, but is this really gray? I don't really see it. So we've got navbar. Oh, it's not NG, it's BG for background. So let's have a look now. Yeah, there's the beautiful gray. Okay, and if we make this a bit smaller, we get our toggle button, and also this works in or on the phone, and I think this also works on the iPad. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our navigation bar and we've got our content, our one column design. Looks really great, and the next thing I want to change is the actual blog posts, because here, as you can see, we just see some information, but maybe we can do it a little bit prettier with using a card. So in the blog posts razor, let's just add a new div and make this happen, and leave the other div there just for reference. And the first thing here would be the card class, again provided by Bootstrap, and we add a margin on the y-axis, so on the top and on the bottom we have a little space. And then the next thing is I want to add an image, and this card image class is not provided by Bootstrap. This is the only CSS we have to add ourselves, I promise. It's just for the image, and another class for the actual post, then not for the list of the posts, but that's the only CSS. I know most of you guys don't want to change or have to do anything with cascading style sheets, and it's, well, probably the same for me, but yeah, sometimes you cannot avoid it, and I know you should never use inline styles. I know, but you will see why I'm doing this anyways. So what I want to do is add the image, and I don't do this with the image tag. I'm doing this with a div, because then I can set the image as a background image, as you can see here. And with that, it just looks better, and it's not that important what dimensions or sizes the image actually has. So, okay, we got background image URL in our case, and here we add a little expression. I want to use the post image, but if this post image is null, we will use a placeholder image. And of course this is not available now, but we will add it here. So this is a simple string, placeholder image, and this is a URL, and there's this cute service that you can use for your designs, and this thing is called placeholder.com, and with the URL via placeholder.com you can ask for an image of any size you want. So in that case we have the URL, let's add the S here, via placeholder.com, and the image size will be 1060 times 180, and if the post image is null in that case, then we will use this placeholder image. Okay, and after that we add the body of the class of the card. So card body, this again is Bootstrap, and then with an H5 maybe we add the title. So this class would be card title, and of course we're using the post title here. After that we want to see the description in a separate paragraph, and we add the class card text for that, and add post description. And then something kind of new, we add a new paragraph and we add the date of the post. So that would be the class card text again, but this time this thing is a small text with the class text muted. And here now we add post date created, date created, almost post date created. That's what I wanted. And since we use C# here, isn't that beautiful? We can say toLongDateString and use the correct brackets here. So we got the date in small text, and last not least, of course, maybe the typical blue button for the read more link. So href is posts and then post URL like that, and the class is button primary, and read more should be the text. And I hope I did everything right. So I saved this. Page is already reloading and we see cards. Looks better. We can remove this thing here now. And of course we have to add the CSS class for the card image. Let's see, we should get our cards. Perfect. There they are. And now for the card image, we go to the CSS folder here and to the app CSS. And let's do it down here, on top of the media stuff. It's card image. And this thing now looks like that. It's getting a height of 180 pixels, getting a background size, cover, background position would be center. We've got a border radius, why not? Border radius of 6 pixels, and also margin bottom of 10 pixels, like that. Let's just copy this, make a post image out of that, and then make this 300 pixels. Then this is a bit bigger for the post then. And you might see now that the page is not reloading because it recognizes no changes. It doesn't recognize the changes in any CSS file. So let's just hit Ctrl and S, and now it's reloading by saving the eraser component again. And there they are, the placeholder images. Beautiful. And here's the really big and blurry Blazor logo. So we should change that. This means maybe in one of the next episodes we add CRUD operations so that we can update a blog post. And we should definitely change the resizing. Let's do that right now, just real quick. So in the pages, I guess it was in the pages, in the create, yeah, there it is. So maybe let's just resize it to 1060. And another thing I want to do is change the order of the posts, because here give me all the blog posts. We just get the blog posts, but we see the latest one at the bottom. So let's change that we see the latest one on top, and we do that with order by descending post date created. Okay, And now we should get the first one on top. It is still restarting. Something is not working here. What? Oh, I missed a bracket here, so let's do this again. And now it should reload. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so now we see the first one at the bottom and the latest, so the newest blog post is on top. Okay, great. That's not bad, I guess. And now with read more, I think we can change this one here. So we have to go to the post-razor file, post-razor, and change the design here. So the first thing is, again, instead of the image tag, we use a div, and we use the class post image. We just added this one, and the source, we don't need the source, of course. We want to add again a background image. So background image would be a URL. And again, we are adding a little expression here where we want to check if the current post is available, and if not, we again use a placeholder image, but this one will look a bit different, but we can still copy this and add one here, but the height should be 300 now. Okay, and I think we are done getting that blog post. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, we added also the blog post, the blog controller, changed the blog controller, and now we got the new layout. And just real quick, let's make another test. Title, new post with the new layout. URL is just layout. We choose a file, of course. Again, the Blazor logo maybe, okay. And for the description, this is a new post with this beautiful shiny new layout. And the content, this is another content. Create this thing. There it is, and the resizing is better now, I think. And when we make this a bit smaller, you see that on a phone this would also look a bit better, I think, and the same for the list of blog posts. Yeah, I think this looks better now. Okay, and that's it. So this is how to change the layout of your Blazor WebAssembly application. And yeah, also use a little bit of Bootstrap for another design. I will commit this so you have the code available, because I think all this HTML and CSS stuff, it's not that fun, I think. Maybe for you, for me, not really. But anyways, thanks a lot to my supporters. If you also want to support me a little bit, maybe you want to buy me a coffee as well, I'd really appreciate that, as well as clicking the like button and subscribing to my channel. And if you want to dive deeper into Blazor WebAssembly, feel free to have a look at my Blazor WebAssembly Full Stack Bootcamp, where we built a classic online browser game where users can register, create units like knights, archers and mages, and let these units fight against other users to reach the first rank of the leaderboard. We use Web API, Entity Framework, JSON Web Tokens for authentication, and a lot more in that project. Link is in the video description below, or watch the 2-hour preview here on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. I see you next time. Take care.